Hey, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co, and this is News and Week in Review, where we dive into a variety of news pieces, the videos of the week, the games I've covered, all of that and more, links and timestamps to everything down below. Before we dive into all of that, this channel is sponsored by Allplay. If you go to allplay.com, actually no, wait, forget that, scratch that, do not go to allplay.com, never go to allplay.com, I mean, actually probably should go to allplay.com, that's a good thing. But this week, this Tuesday, they're going to have their newest Kickstarter campaign. They're going to have a crowdfunding campaign for Kabuto Sumo Dice, as well as Imps, as well as Wildberries. You should go ahead and check out that. I'll throw a link down below, and also go to allplay.com, because I don't think I'm supposed to tell you not to go to allplay.com. That's really not the way you're supposed to do sponsorship stuff. But with that, let's go ahead and dive into the news part. We have a relatively short news week, not a ton to go over, but we have big news from CGE, Czech Games Edition. They have Kingdom Come Deliverance, the board game. Which, fun fact, if you go to the Board Game Geek database, you can actually find Kingdom Come Deliverance, the board game, and Kingdom Come Deliverance, the board game. They are two entirely separate games that have nothing to do with one another, but have the exact same name. The first one, or maybe the second one, I don't actually know the order of which one will show up first, but the first one represents a game that was from the publishers of, oh my gosh, Project L. They didn't make that one. It had a lot of promise, but they didn't make it in the end. It was crowdfunded, didn't work out, a whole lot of story there, but that didn't happen. It was very cool. I got to play the prototype. I thought they did a great job with it, but apparently the app development would have cost so much that it never happened. So instead we have Czech Games Edition coming out with their Kingdom Come Deliverance, the board game. Great trailer video featuring Vladish Vatil, I believe, and Thomas Hollick, if I'm not mistaken. A tremendous trailer showing those two designers. They are collaborating on the design. And speaking of games that cost too much to make, that was a reference to the app and Kingdom Come Deliverance, the board game. Kingdom Come Deliverance, the board game is going to be, I believe, $199. I believe that's the price point. I think it's €149 for European buyers, and then $199 for US backers. And if you're like, that exchange rate seems off, that brings us to our next news piece. You can check out an article on Board Game Wire where they talk about how basically CGE very publicly stated, like, hey, it's more expensive for US backers, for US buyers, not backers, it's not going to crowdfunding, it's more expensive for US buyers because of tariffs. Tariffs cost money. We are passing that cost on to you because it's your country that's making you pay that, not us. And weirdly enough, you may be shocked to hear this, but the companies do not pay the tariffs. Ultimately, the end consumer is always the one who pays the tariffs, no matter how you structure it or hide it in the fees of everything. But anyways, a $200 board game, which is a lot of money for something that is not crowdfunding. Oh my gosh, when was the last time you saw a $200 board game that wasn't a crowdfunded board game? It's been a while. I don't remember the last time I've seen that. I'm sure it has happened, but it's definitely not a common thing. Crowdfunding kind of allows for this magical sticker price, but also this huge perception of value. CGE, make no mistake, their games tend to be top notch, but this is a price point that I will admit I got a lot of sticker shock at that price point. I am very curious to see how well it will do, and also what's the game going to consist of? What is it going to be when you have a $200 price point? Like on crowdfunding, when you get a $200 price point, you get these giant boxes full of arguably too much stuff where you're like, okay, I guess I got my money's worth, but I'll also probably never pull it off the shelf. So like, I got my money's worth, or maybe it's the opposite of that. I'm not entirely sure of the math on it, but I guess people do play the games. Just it is harder to pull off a big, giant $200 box than something like this, which is certainly not a $200 box. We'll talk about these at the end of the video. Anyways, that is basically everything. Well, that's not true. We have one more piece of news outside of CGE. We have Origins attendance is down, unfortunately. Again, over on Board Game Wire, they have an article on this, but the Origins Game Fair, their attendance has dropped since last year. Supposedly not all bad news, like profits are up, but like having gone to Origins, if you've seen any of my vlog stuff around this, Origins is always in a weird space for me. Again, I love it, but also feels like it's declining every year. The board game presence feels like it's dropping each year. The fun I have does not. I still have fun there every year. I just have fun more from the standpoint of like, hey, I'm gonna have a chill time, hang out with friends, go back on Sunday with my kids, buy a bunch of trinkets that aren't honestly even board games. I do all of that, and I have fun doing all of that each year. But the board game side of things, that feels weaker each year. The presence of board game publishers there, every year there's a few that seem to drop off that were there previously and decided it's not worth going there. This year in particular, there were a bunch of rumblings and complaints going on behind the scenes. There were a bunch of publishers who got moved around last minute. The layout had issues, banners had issues. There were a lot of issues going on, and overall, from talking to publishers, it seemed like individual sales weren't as high as they have been in prior years. That said, if you read the Board Game Wire article, there's definitely talk about how they They talk about how sales are up in general, but again, there's kind of that divergent aspect of things. There's general geek culture and going there for funsies and buying little Lego minifigs and buying little trinkets and dream catchers and all these other just things in general, art prints. There's a ton of stuff you can go there and have fun with, and there's the board game segment of things. And so I kind of view it and enjoy it with both lenses in mind. As a general convention, it's a blast. I have fun. I will probably go back every single year, although I always wonder how much time do I need to spend there. Like, I always feel like I can drop it by a few days and spend less time there, but I do have fun. But on the board game side, you know, I get everything I need on the other shows, UKGE, Gen Con, PAX Unplugged, and honestly, Origins feels like I barely need to go there for the board games. It's just my backyard convention. But anyways, Board Game Wire has an article on attendance and more detail around that. And that's basically our news of the week, which brings us to the videos of the week. It was a very light week on the channel. Usually I do in the range of 12 to 14 videos a week. This past week, I think I did like 8 or something. A big part of that was I just filmed less videos this past week, and so I've slowly been cutting back. In that effort of maintaining balance in my life, I've slowly been like, if I have days or weeks where I'm not going to be filming as much, I also put up a few less videos just to balance it all out. Like, I still have videos in the queue at any given point, but if it's not something that's time sensitive related to like a crowdfunding date or whatnot, I'm a little more easygoing about like, ooh, there won't be a video on Monday. Oh, there'll only be one video on Thursday instead of 3. Like, that kind of a pacing I've slowly adapted to as just in an effort of finding balance in life. But all that said, videos of the week, we had an upcoming campaigns video going up on... Wait, what was Monday's video? Monday's video was 5 campaigns, right? Monday's video was 5 crowdfunding campaigns. I forgot about that one. That basically did a little bit of a short overview of 5 active crowdfunding campaigns. It's something that I may start doing more of, talking about, you know, the current crowdfunding campaigns that are interesting to me, as opposed to a full to-back or not-to-back segment. That was Monday. On Wednesday, we had upcoming crowdfunding campaigns for the month of July, just going over the round of campaigns you can expect to see. Also, those of you who are expecting a joke in Monday's video, I totally forgot. I haven't done one of these videos in so long, I totally forgot to put together a joke, so that's why that was missing there. And then on Friday we had a video of what happened to back or not to back. Where did the series go? Why did I stop doing it over time? It's something I've touched upon in the past, but I've always been meaning to do a full video, so I finally sat down and did a full video as to the evolution of the channel and specific aspects of the channel. All that said, I think I'll always have a soft spot for like crowdfunding and try to have crowdfunding coverage there. We'll just see what it looks like. It might look more like what I did this past Monday, where I just cover a few smatterings of campaigns with just my own loose opinions, notes, and thoughts on them. That's as far as the general videos of the week, which brings us to the games cover this week. We had an unboxing for Kemet Kemet Big Box, Rise of Gods, whatever it is. Is it Rise of Gods? The Kemet Gods expansion, the Big Box. I did an unboxing on that on Saturday. We had a Horrified D&D solo gameplay. That was my solo... What was that? What was that? You okay, Cal? Horrified D&D solo gameplay going up on Sunday. Then we had a Kemet gameplay going up on Tuesday, as well as a Chronicles of Drunagor Aftermath review going up on Tuesday as well. Kemet gameplay was playing through the Gates of Thrones. Overall, enjoyed it. Pretty solid. Well, actually, I'll have a review going up today, so I guess I'll give you my thoughts on that later. And then that was a sponsored gameplay, to be clear. And Chronicles of Drunagor Aftermath was a review, just covering the new content. Overall, it's mostly Chronicles of Drunagor with a few small changes. The biggest one is going to be the more single-shot mode, where you can upgrade and level up your characters across a single session instead. And then lastly, we had a review for Wondrous Creatures Winterfell going up on Thursday, or is it Winterfall? I think it's Winterfall. I think what I did is, for those of you who caught the video early, the initial thumbnail said Winterfell. That's probably because I've been watching House of Dragon, which you should be watching House of Dragon. House of Dragon is so good. It's so good. Game of Thrones was so good. House of Dragon is also so good. Really enjoying that. Also enjoying Widow's Bay. I'm not yet finished. I have 2 episodes to go. Honestly, there's a lot of good TV out there, and I'm just trying to like stay on top of the ones that I think are most worth watching. Some's not worth watching. Other is worth watching. House of Dragon is great. And anyways, my point is I called Wondrous Creatures, I think I accidentally titled it Winterfell instead of Winterfall, because Game of Thrones and all of that. Anyways, and thoughts on House of Dragon. Thoughts on Wondrous Creatures is Wondrous Creatures. I think Winterfall is a good expansion. I don't think there's doing a ton that's essential. Honestly, the things I enjoy the most with the expansion are probably small like card hunting abilities, things like that, as opposed to you know, and some of the change to the way the award system is. I think that's a solid change. Versus arguably the bigger mechanics of Winterfall are ones that I just feel are fine, and you know I'll probably play with them, but you know I don't feel they are game breaking. The smaller ones I feel are more quality of life additions. Anyways, that brings us to games I've played this week. The games I played this week, as usual, a small smattering of the games I've played this week. I've been playing a bunch of Alibis from Allplay, channel sponsor and all that. But Alibis is great. I find that So Clover is my default go-to party game these days. That's nice whenever I pull something elf off the shelf. Something elf something else off the shelf. And Alibis got a bunch of table time this week. I really enjoy Alibis. It's a ton of fun. It is so hard though. Like, to me, I play Alibis to get a perfect game, and I very, very, very rarely get a perfect game, but it always feels so achievable. If we can just completely sync up, it would be so nice. Like, the amount of times I get a perfect game in So Clover, significantly higher than what I get in Alibis. It's such a challenging puzzle. I really enjoy it. Highly recommend it. Also got a bunch of plays of Bunny Kingdom Town in preparation for an upcoming review at some point. I played Bunny Kingdom Town. I will say this, I definitely think it's better than I thought it would be. I also think it still suffers and is in the shadow of Bunny Kingdom for me. Like, I think it's very hard for me to disconnect Bunny Kingdom from it, that even though it's better than I think it would be, it's still just not Bunny Kingdom. So we'll see. I want more plays in before I review it, but that's my thoughts currently. Also got to play Perennial from Flat Out Games. It's going to be the upcoming crowdfunding campaign, the makers of Calico, Cascadia, all that. They have Perennial is their newest. Only one play so far. It's definitely solid. I have a lot of things I like about it and a lot of initial thoughts and criticisms too. Well, a lot might be over-exaggerating. Some thoughts and criticisms. I think it is certainly not a Calico or Cascadia replacement for me. The main question is where it'll ultimately be, but I think I need a few more plays and possibly a dive into the solo mode to see that. So thoughts will be coming at some point, just not yet. Which brings us today. Today we'll have a few things. We will have a Flip 7 with a Vengeance review. I filmed that a while ago. This is like that weird thing where... So I filmed Flip 7 with a Vengeance as soon as I got my hands on it, because I was like, you know what? My channel is obviously for more you guys being like people who are here on a regular basis. You watch the videos, you see the content, you're in the board game ecosystem. But then it's always good to like get a hit out there. It's always good to be like, oh my gosh, like there's this giant crowd of people who are watching like Smosh games and like Flip 7 with a Vengeance. I need to get that video done right away for all the people who are hungry, for all the like mass market gamers who are hungry for that game. I need Flip 7 with a Vengeance review done ASAP. And so I filmed the review like as soon as I got it, and then I just, didn't put it live because I will almost always prioritize things that are time sensitive to my world or our world. Let's say our world. It sounds so snobbish and elitist and gatekeeping, but like, you know what I mean. The hobbyist gamer side of things ultimately gets priority over Flip 7 with a Vengeance, even if I am chasing that burst in like a few casual viewers and all that. But yeah. Anyways, point is, it's finally going live today. So Flip 7 with a Vengeance will go live today, as well as a review for Kemet Rise of Thonis. I'll be giving you my thoughts on the expansion, what it does, what it adds, the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, the neutral, the evil, all of those things will be going up today. As far as next week, I should have a Games Leaving the Collection video going up at the end of the week, but it's also going to be a lot of reviews this week. There's a bunch of things launching. There's going to be the All-Play campaign on Tuesday. There's going to be, I think, not boycott, what do you call it again? It's not called a boycott, it's called a... There's a different term for when you can't put out videos yet. Like when you get you get a date where you cannot put out videos yet until this date. But it's not called boycott, it's called something else, and I'm blanking the term. But anyways, things for like Duel of Melek over here, as well as Wingspan Pocket and all that, things like that, that'll be going up later this week. Also the crew Journey Center to the Earth, that'll be going up this week. There's a bunch of things that are all time sensitive, whether because of crowdfunding or because of, blackout periods where I can't post the review content that I can't remember the name for. Those will all be going up. So there'll be a lot of stuff review-wise going up this week. As far as that, which brings us to the games on the table. Games on the table. So we have a few things going on over here. We have Six Sojourns. I want to be playing this a lot more. I played this finally for the first time this past week. Oh my gosh, I liked it. We'll be playing it more, and I'll give you more thoughts on that later. Just got these guys in the mail today. Friendly Fishing and Wild Magic. Also got the last one, Trip to the Future. This is coming to you from whatchamacalled, Gamehead Games. I just covered Sizewise on the channel. So I bought Sizewise and Pet Quartet. Yeah, Pet Quartet at Origins, and then I put my Sizewise review out, and they were like, hey, we'll send you the rest of, the game. So they sent me Friendly Fishing, Wild Magic, and Trip to the Future. Hope to be diving into these. Honestly, I almost bought Friendly Fishing as well. It looked very interesting, very clever, but I wasn't as sure how much table time it'll hit. I'm very happy to receive this. Wild Magic, I had no negatives on this one. I just wasn't sure about where it would be. And the last one, Trip to the Future, I actually played and already enjoyed. I played the prototype way back when. Already enjoyed it. The only problem there is there's so many trick-taking games that I'm just not sure will it hit the table as often or not. But now that's a review copy, it'll definitely hit the table until I get a review out of that. So I hope to be diving into some of these this week. And then Duel of Melek over here. I already played Wingspan Pocket. I'll have a review coverage for you there. Possibly gameplay coverage. This one might be a little bit later because I haven't played it yet. So unless I get a few plays in the next few days, which could happen, I do hope to be playing this tomorrow. But the review for this one might be either later in the week or early next week, depending on when I get it tabled. Anyways, those are the games on the table, which means this has been your week in review. Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you have an excellent week, and as always, I hope you have a good one.